back. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Matt and Kyle pod, and we are super glad we have a friend here today, our good friend Perrin. Perrin, welcome to the show. Thanks for coming.
Hello, thanks for having me. And my cat is another special
Yes.
guest.
Hi, Kiki. Thanks
Cool.
for being here.
Yes, she's here.
I think we could start here. Perrin, this is obviously a show we talk a lot about sports, and you're a sports woman yourself, both in real life. You play sports and watch sports. So I wanted to just kind of like, what is your sports background? What did you play sports in high school? Did you watch sports when
Totally.
you were young? How'd you get in?
Yeah, I played sports as a kid, just like everybody else, some soccer, track. Then in high school, I did field hockey as well.
Oh, no way.
Um,
I didn't know that.
yeah, big field hockey girl
Was
from
it fun?
Denver. Yeah, yeah. Honestly, the sports in high school were really fun, but the teams, like the girls on my team, were very mean and cliquey and popular. So didn't have a good experience with my teammates, but I did have a lot of fun running around and playing sports. But there was a reason I switched over to the musical my
Sure.
junior and senior year and kind of let the sports thing
Should
go.
we put the pictures of your high school teammates on screen and like
Oh
so we
my
can
gosh. Have I
note
shown
each
you
of
that one photo?
No, I'm just saying so
There's
they
actually
can
this.
know who they are and
Oh,
maybe
I'll put
fix
them on
their actions.
blast.
Yeah.
There's this one picture
Let's
of all of us where it's like eight blonde tall women and then me.
sure.
It's just I just stand out so much. I've never felt like a minority except for when I was on that team.
I
I was
don't
like, oh wow.
I don't picture the
You
field hockey community being like really or I guess exclusive, but apparently it
Mhm.
is.
They did not break my spirit. I actually did a lot
That's
of
good.
braids for them on the bus rides to the games. So that's when I was sort of their friend. Wasn't really their friend
Oh,
on the field though.
you were
It's
their
interesting.
stylist more than their teammate, maybe.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
But then uh during college and after college I found spike ball, which is where I met both of you. Um Played for years, still play on and off here, but
Yeah.
definitely falling out of that one a bit. And now I'm hooked on beach volleyball.
Yeah.
It's the
Um
best.
it's so much fun. I live in Southern California, about 10 minutes from the beach, and I just go a few times a week. I got up at 5:55 a.m. today to go play
Triple
because
five.
Wow.
that's when people are available is at 6:30. Sunrise is
Are
at 6:50.
are there
Oh
just like
wow.
public courts available?
Yeah, they're just honestly all up and down the beach. So I'll just text my friends, be like, let's meet at Driftwood today. Let's meet at this one
That's
today.
6:30.
Get a group before at 6:30 before they go to work.
Wow.
And then I came home and took a nap. So that's kind of my sports schedule these days. Play some beach volleyball in the morning, live the rest
God,
of
that's
my
a
life.
great day.
Yeah, it
You're
is a
living
good
the
day. It's a good
dream
way to
for real.
start. It is, especially
That's
because it's
awesome.
the weather's so great. Like I'll go out there with a jacket on, but after warming up for 5 minutes, it's like, okay, you're in. You could wear a swimsuit if you want, and it's comfortable. Um,
Kyle,
so
Kyle, you beach a little bit, right? I mean, I know you had some knee
Yeah.
stuff and maybe haven't in a little bit, but
Yeah, no, I've been dealing with like knee struggles honestly for the last 5 years since I had a knee reconstruction surgery. But I've kind of been like taking a lot of time off volleyball for the last, I don't know, 5 months. So it's like fully healed. Like right now, knock on all of the wood ever, but like I have like no knee pain at all right now. So I think like
wow.
when I ramp back up into sport, I'm just gonna be super cautious. I've like just started going to the gym again, which is like literally once a week. And it's like even once a week for the last 2 weeks has been like cooking me. Like my legs will be sore for a long time. I think
Mm,
it's just because it's one of those things where when you don't do it for a while, like
yeah,
it just takes your body such a long time to build up that strength again.
totally.
So,
To rebuild
um,
it. Is
yeah,
do you play beach or indoor?
yeah, I was playing a ton of beach. That was the problem. I was playing like 3 nights a week of beach, and then for a while there in the winter, I was doing 3 nights a week of beach indoors, and then also a day of indoor. Um, and like if indoor hard court, I should say. And
yeah.
the indoor
Hmm.
hard court is just so brutal for if you're playing like middle or outside. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I could not
Wait,
take it.
yeah. I did a couple grass tournaments that I've never really played on grass, but I was like
Yeah,
a way different type of sore because it's an entirely different muscle group to like jump off of
yeah,
the grass.
yeah.
And it like little things hurt that don't normally hurt, and it just reminded me that the sand is actually a really natural
I
uh
think it like
place to
stabilizes
fall
you.
and
Like
land and
yeah,
jump. Yeah.
yeah,
And you know what else I learned is that people who play beach sports have way less frequent cases of like foot funguses compared to runners and things where your sweat is building up in your shoes.
Sure.
So if you're looking for good
Okay.
foot skin, go
Good
ahead
foot
and join
hygiene.
beach volleyball. Foot hygiene.
That's good to know. I've been
So-
dealing with foot fungus. No, I'm just kidding. I can rehab it with some sand. That's good. Speaking of volleyball, Perrin, have you checked in with Sarah recently? Her Nebraska women's volleyball.
I've heard from her, so we know
Okay.
that she's still with us.
She's still,
But
functioning.
I've heard she won't be leaving her apartment.
I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I'm not tapped in here. Has there been some updates in the college volleyball world?
Yeah,
So-
Nebraska women's volleyball just lost in was it the round of 16? 8?
It might have been quarters because they played a 3 seed. So I think that's how that works.
Okay, yeah.
Like for March Madness style. Then there was a bunch of 1 seeds. Nebraska was like the overwhelming 1 seed, and Sarah texted me when they were playing the round prior to the round that they ended up losing in, and she said, if they don't lose, if they don't win, I will go into a deep depression. And I told her, you can't be the Yankees fan of college volleyball, but
Right.
then they did immediately lose the next round, which was very surprising. I watched them play and they looked dominant. So that's a tough one. And they lost to the
Yeah.
Aggies too.
I think they were undefeated on the season though. Maybe late season they lost something.
Yeah,
but-
and the game that they played, they won the sets it was like 25-11, 25-8, 25-10. Like just complete dominance. And
yeah,
so I don't really know what happened, but I'm glad Sarah's, I don't know, still alive.
she's still alive, so we have that.
Yeah.
That's all. That's the most optimistic thing we can say.
So we'll transition a little bit from college sports, our personal sports experience. Perrin, you're a Chargers? No. Rams? You tell me again.
My fandom is a little bit weird. I'm definitely a Nuggets fan.
Yes.
I grew up in Denver, so we have the Nuggets locked in there. Am I a Broncos fan? Yes, but not as much as the Cincinnati Bengals because Joe Burrow is my celebrity crush. It's really kind of how that started entirely.
And Bo Nix doesn't do the same. He doesn't have the same juice for you.
Doesn't have that same, like that one little hair.
That, you don't like Bo Nix's all the hair straight up? You know, the kind of like high school bully in a movie kind of look?
Right.
The Toy Story villain.
I mean, here's the thing. If Bo Nix slides in my DMs, am I responding? Of course.
Yes.
Am I as excited as if it's Joe Burrow?
Joe Burrow's got like a little bit of that bad boy side for some reason, even though he seems like the most calm, cool, and collected guy ever. But I see what you're saying. Yeah.
He's like into Batman. He's like kind of a nerd. He bought his team samurai swords as a gift.
Yeah.
He actually seems like he'd be a pretty, like, not a great partner for me. He doesn't seem very fun and energetic. So in a realistic sense, I don't know that it would work very well.
No, this is smart. You're playing hard to get.
Since we're talking, about the reality of the situation. Anyway, a few years ago, I had a roommate who watched football, and I was like, okay, I guess I'll kind of walk, see what this is about. And he was giving me some stats, giving me some information. Somehow Joe Burrow joined my headspace rent-free. Oh. And I started paying attention to the Bengals the year after they won, I think. So that was a good time to start.
Year after the Super Bowl.
They made it. Yeah, then they made it to the Super Bowl,
Oh, right. Sorry. No, they lost to the Rams with 21, I think.
Yeah.
They were around there, yep.
But, so I accidentally became a fan of them. It's interesting how you kind of trip and fall into fandom sometimes. Like one piece hooks you in. And then now I know so many players on the Bengals. And I didn't care about them before, but suddenly it's a team. Just
who's your favorite non-Burrow Cincinnati Bengal? And then second question, what are your opinions on how the owners have structured the salaries to be paying their offensive players like 80%
This is a
of
good
their
question for someone who said they know things about the Bengals. This is the first quiz of
the second question was more tongue-in-cheek because I don't know, you might have opinions, but first,
I don't think I'm going to be able to answer them very well. Love a good underrated T. Higgins. He's not even that underrated.
Okay.
Jamar Chase is the easy choice, but let's give the other guy some catches. He's had some crazy catches.
He's played great the last couple weeks,
yeah. And then I don't really know the details of the salary situation. I just know that their defense is so bad, so that's why there's been so many
Do you think that if you went out there and they put you at edge rusher would you do better than the current Bengals defensive line? What is your thought?
Certain games that I've seen, certain
Sure.
plays that I've seen, sure. I would just go like tickle him or something and probably do
Yeah.
a good job. I don't know if I have the sheer force, but I could get creative.
Yeah. There's
Do you guys think you
unexplored.
could? I bet you could do better.
I could
Probably.
rationalize it for sure. If I don't actually rush, I back up and I end up like, I don't know, in drop coverage, and then I block a pass.
I like
That could be
that.
better. That
There
could be
you
better.
go.
You're throwing wrenches in their plans, doing something
You
different.
right.
can dodge a wrench.
right.
You can dodge a ball.
So Kyle, as a Cleveland fan, I actually don't know. Are the Bengals considered your rivals? Would you consider them your rivals? I know it's a different division, but it's the same division.
No, same. Yeah, they're both in
yeah.
the AFC
Mhm.
North. But I think the Steelers are probably our more, I guess, the one that you think about more as a Browns fan. I think it's just because the Bengals games are typically close, and I feel like our record against the Bengals is more reasonable, whereas our record against the Steelers is just like laughably bad. Steelers have destroyed us for so long. So that's what I would say. But now that I live in Cincinnati, I'm like tertiarily a Bengals fan. I'll say they're not one of my top
Sure.
teams, but I support them. I'm down with the
Sure.
Bengals.
Yeah. I think that's how I feel about now the Rams and Chargers, because I'm here in Southern California. I'm like, okay, those are the teams
Yeah.
close by, and it's obviously easier to jump on board when they're doing well too. So
Yeah, and as a Browns first fan, most years I end up giving up like after the first couple weeks, and this is another one of those seasons where I just end up picking a different team to really like invest in.
Yeah, you like watch the playoff chances go like this, and then you wait until that final moment when it's like, okay, eliminated, now I can start paying attention.
Exactly. But then it ends up like the Browns games always matter for something, so I still watch them. It's like, oh, well, if the Browns beat this really good team this week, then this team that I also care about can end up getting in the playoffs, or if I don't like that team right, then they'll have a lower seed. That was the story this past week. They played the Bears, and every once in a while I'll get like a feeling like I'm like, oh, the Browns are going to win this game for some reason, and I had that feeling. And the Vikings, the only chance of them making the playoffs was if the Bears lost this week to the Browns. And a buddy of mine at work, he's from Minnesota and is like the biggest Vikings fan ever. And I was like, man, I think the Browns might be able to do it. And they got like trounced. Like Chicago destroyed them.
They destroyed them. That was a legacy game for the Bears offense. It's tough.
Just absolutely not what we were predicting. But what the rest of the world maybe could have seen.
So speaking of home teams fandom, so I live in Denver. We only have one team in every major sport, so I'd say it's pretty easy to decide who to root for in the state, and there's not even like competing teams. I mean, I guess there's the Utah Jazz is the closest. Anyway, easy to pick if you want to be a home fan in Denver. In LA, I think it's probably a lot harder. Perrin, your experience, is it let's do NFL and like more Chargers fans, more Rams fans? What's the more 49ers fans even? What's the kind of breakdown?
It seems like a mix. It seems like it depends on your area sometimes. Like, I feel like Orange County, I've seen more Rams fans, but then the Los Angeles Chargers is a little more, I don't know, near me up north.
Yeah.
And then it's also, since the Chargers were from San Diego, right?
Yep.
How many years ago? I don't know. Not that many.
A decade?
Yeah. So there's some people that are still feeling like, I don't know if that team feels like home yet. But it's is confusing. Like for me who started paying attention to the NFL at a time when they were both here, I'm like, I don't know. They share a stadium too, so I'm like, I'll go to either game. It just kind of depends on. Yeah, I don't really know. It's a strange thing. And then, the Clippers and the Lakers feel similar. Obviously, the Lakers have this legacy thing, but it's kind of like, I don't know. They're both here.
That's funny. I would have guessed. Sorry, go Kyle.
No, I just can't imagine being a Clippers fan in Los Angeles. Like, you've got to. It's the most contrarian thing you can do.
It is.
They don't. There's not that many. So if you're thinking of going to a basketball game in California, go to a Clippers game. The tickets would be about
cheap
third
tickets.
price.
That's right. Yeah,
at least they have a new. At least they're not at the same stadium.
Like, no, they have their new stadium, which is really cool. Actually, there's like buttons at the seats that you can play games on and stuff.
Oh, it's to entertain you can fun for the whole family. at a Clippers
Fun for the
game.
whole family, all ages, really.
When they're getting
That's
blown
awesome.
out by 25, start playing
Yep.
them.
Oh.
And they're like, okay, time out. Like, everybody push the red button. Come on, Clippers fans. Show
Yeah.
us the wall.
Yeah.
It's such a bummer. Last year's Clipper season, I loved that Clippers team. I mean, I didn't. I had kind of adopted them as one of the teams I enjoyed to watch. If the Nuggets
Because
were
of
playing.
James Harden?
Yes, that's right. Yeah, it was a lot of Harden. I like watching Kawhi play. I liked all the old guys in that. Well, it was a good mix of like a bunch of old guys who were really good at scoring, and then a bunch of like young, lanky, tall, athletic defenders. And honestly, the team isn't like even that different this year, and they just suck. So I don't even. I mean, I have some theories on why that is, but it's been a weird year, and I'm sad for the Clippers because the Lakers are really good. So
Yeah.
it's always tough when there's a little brother team, you know?
Right. It's like, yeah, but I feel like the Rams and Chargers, I don't know if one is seen as the big brother team. What do you guys think?
I feel like the Rams probably are, just because the Chargers haven't had like any like playoff success, it feels like recently.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm trying to fact check myself there, but you know, the Rams I feel like the better team. Yeah.
Yeah, they have a little more storied, but neither of them are native LA. So that's why I was really curious about that one specifically. Is like it's an interesting South California NFL situation.
I know. We have so many teams though there's
seriously.
like 2 Northern California basketball teams too. I'm like,
Not to mention baseball. I think there's 5 Californian. Well,
really?
Maybe. Let me think. Okay, so the Angels, the Giants,
Dodgers, Padres,
and the Athletics. Yeah, 5.
Wow,
that's crazy.
San Diego to LA to Northern California. Yeah, that's a lot. Because it's kind of fun because it builds rivalries within the community. So like me and my San Diego friends, instead of picking a team that we both like, we have our own separate worlds of the team that we choose. But then there's no, like, you would never see a Chargers versus a Rams game. That would be interesting though.
Yeah, it would. I guess they'd both play. If they both played in SoFi, one of them would be like the home team and the away team, but not really.
But I don't think they do that. I don't really know why.
I mean, yeah, different conferences I'm sure it might just be scheduling quirk.
Yeah.
Do you have a baseball team, Perrin, or care about baseball? Totally fine.
It's like a pretty similar story to everything else. You know, the Dodgers do well, so I'll pick the Dodgers. If the Rockies won the World Series, I'd probably be a Rockies fan, but they were a little far off from that one this year. But I went to the Dodgers game 3 this year, the 18-inning game.
No
so that
way,
was
you were there?
Mm-hmm.
That's
it was
amazing.
Actually,
oh my gosh.
crazy. It was so cool. Like I was at the stadium for about 8 hours, I think.
Yeah.
Went with my dad. We got really nice tickets too. I was kind of like, Dad, let's go.
That's awesome. Did you guys? And you stayed until the end of the game?
Mm-hmm. So we left at like midnight, I think, maybe 1 a.m. But that one was really fun to witness and solidify a Dodgers fandom for sure. It was like, wow, this team is really good. Yeah. That's my baseball team, I guess.
I think it's
easy to like them.
Yeah, it's a good
Sometimes
time
easy to hate them
become
too. If you
felt strongly about another team, I think it'd be very easy to hate the Dodgers. Yeah. And I would fall into that camp. But I also really love all the players. So as I said a bunch of times on the show.
Yeah.
So here's my question about fandom. When do y'all think it's okay to switch your sports fandom? Like, Kyle, you've been let down by the Browns for almost your entire life.
Yep.
If at the when Deshaun Watson happened, if you had been like, I'm done, I'm switching, I think that would have been reasonable. But I could also understand someone being like, that's not reasonable. So what's your thoughts on that?
Honestly, I don't have like a moral issue with someone switching their fandom. Like if you want to, like if you're from Cleveland, you've lived in Cleveland your whole life and you're like, I don't root for the Browns, I root for the Patriots. I have no like moral dilemma with that. I respect it as like a fan, you know, it's fine because I think that there's like a million reasons why that can be. And that's that. For me personally, I think like I have an appreciation for the underdog story. And I think that's because of growing up probably as a Cavaliers fan first and like seeing the payoff at the end. So in the back of my mind, if I hear someone and they're like, yeah, I'm actually a Patriots fan, even though I've lived in Cleveland my whole life, if anything, I feel bad for them because they don't know the feeling of having to wait so long for something to happen. The payoff is like incredible. Like I'll never forget where I was for that 2016 Game 7 Finals game as a Cavaliers fan. Whereas as a Patriots fan, it's like, you make it to the playoffs every year. Oh yeah, we've won, whatever, 4 Super Bowls out of the last 10 years or something. And so I feel like that ends up, and trust me, I would love if that became my team. But yeah, with all that said, I don't really have a specific no time frame in terms of like you have to be a fan of your team for this long and then you can switch if they're still bad. I will say, as a Browns fan, that's the other thing, is like I totally understand why anyone would give up on this team from like a management standpoint, and like even the choices we've made in terms of the players that we take on morally with like Deshaun Watson. It's ridiculous. And not to mention that we're also just bad and not fun to watch, like week in and week out. Like
that's kind of tough too.
Yeah. So anyways, I think I said this last episode, but I'm done giving them my money. Like I will not go to a Browns game until I believe in this team. And so that's how I'm taking my stand. Not to say that I don't support them. I want them to win, but it's like, that's sort of how I see it.
But if you just know you're going to be disappointed and watch them lose, you don't want to waste your money on that. So yeah.
And it's also, then I'm not supporting the team financially. So they'll need to get better in order to earn the money from the fan base.
I see.
There's a thought there.
I like that mentality. You're like, I'll go to a game when things are looking better. Yeah,
and also I get my football fix as an Ohio State football fan. So like full transparency here, guys. Like I think, it's the same sport at the end of the day. And I still, during the season, I still get excited about having a good football team.
Yeah. What do you think, Matt? Is there a moral timeline?
I kind of think you should be sparked. Like the example that I've heard brought up recently is the Oakland A's are moving from Oakland. Well, actually right now they're just the A's. They're just the Athletics. They have no home. And they're potentially, most likely, moving to Las Vegas. They'll be the Las Vegas Athletics. Or maybe people have said the Las Vegas Aces, but I know that's also a WNBA. Anyway, I think that could be a reasonable time to switch, because you're leaving my home team. You are not a home team anymore. I wouldn't at all have any qualms if someone did that. I think if someone was like, hey, I live in North Carolina, I'm a Panthers fan, and like, this season hasn't been that exciting, I just want to switch to a winner, I would probably give them a hard time for doing that. But like, I like what Kyle said. It's part of liking a sports team is you're in there for the ups and the downs. And that's just, if you're not doing that, what's the point of fandom? Like you just want to root for winners. I understand you want to root for winners, but that's way less cool.
And with
there's a pride in sticking with your team even while they're losing. I mean, it's
for sure.
The whole conversation is pretty similar to like sports betting to me, right? You don't get that excited about betting on a team that has all the odds to win. Sure, it's still going to win you a little bit of money, and it's like an exciting payoff in that sense. But if your like really low odds bet wins, you're like, wait a minute, like this feels so much better.
Dude, I would love
you're a big like parlay girl is what I'm hearing. You're all for the
Dude,
I love
the more
I would love
the
to see a plot of like, the amount of bets that are placed in plus odds territory versus in minus odds territory. It's got to be like 90% of bets I bet are in plus territory. Like if
it's
you just
way
added
more
like
fun.
Individual bet, of course. Like that's how the casinos make all their money. Like the juice is always cranked up on the plus bets, and so that's how it works. It's more fun to believe in an underdog and believe in something that more than likely won't happen, for sure.
Perrin, what would the Denver Nuggets have to do for you to renounce their fandom?
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
I couldn't
lose their
I couldn't
most
come up with
of their
something.
starting lineup. I think
if they traded Jokic,
I don't think I would stop being I would still be a Nuggets fan.
It would be a lot. Like if they traded Jokic and they like started doing really poorly, I would stay, but I might lose faith. I don't know, after a couple of years or something.
Like, but would you be like, I am
lose.
now a fan of wherever Jokic is? Let's say he gets traded to the Lakers, God forbid.
Like,
would you be like, I'm a Lakers fan now?
No, it's the team that I'm here for. I'm here for Jamal. I'm here for Aaron Gordon.
15 years, none of those players are going to be on the Nuggets anymore. So
right. But the Nuggets will still be
there
there.
she is. Okay. I like that.
There
I like
she is.
that.
All right, I got her. I think I got her.
Yeah.
No, I feel pretty strongly about like that team as a collection instead of just like if Joe Burrow got traded to really anywhere, I'll go ahead and jump ship
Sure. That's
to
different.
wherever he
It's
That's
different. It's different because you're like a
You know what I mean?
transplant fan. You're not a local fan for the Bengals.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's actually a good time to transition into. We're going to try and pick a winner and loser. It can be a team, it can be a person, it can be something more abstract for the NBA and for the NFL for the past like month or so. And I want to start us off with loser in the NFL, just with the Joe Burrow talk, because I think there's a reasonable case to make. Not that Joe Burrow has been the loser of the past month, but that like the Bengals in general have been a loser because, Perrin, I'm sure you saw just because, it was Joe Burrow, that the press conference where he was basically like, I don't know if I'm in love with the game anymore. And I, very emo, very Conrad, Some Return Pretty.
They look the exact same.
I know. What is your thoughts on that? Do you think Joe Burrow's getting, I guess my question is like, do you think Joe Burrow's getting traded and the Bengals like are going to blow up their team soon because they clearly can't win with this current iteration?
I don't know. I mean, I've seen all of that on the internet, but I've chosen every time to be like, this is just the media getting excited about a story they think exists. But I don't know that there's any proof of that. People just love to speculate, and like Joe Burrow getting traded is an exciting headline. It could happen. I just feel like their offense is so good and has the numbers and has the statistics that they need. So it's not about an issue with him and the chemistry with the teammates. It really just has to be stopping other defenses. Sure. So I don't think so, but maybe. I mean, and then even all the headlines about like, oh, is Joe Burrow getting tired of football? I mean, I don't think so. He's resilient as hell. Like the way that he's been injured, like half of his career, short career, not that long yet, and he always is so optimistic and always like when he was still injured but like wanted to play and they were like, someone was like, oh, are you sure you should play? Maybe you should just wait till next season until you're fully healthy. He was like, I want to play football. Like I have fun out there. That's the whole point of it. So he'll bounce back. He'll be fine.
Dude, that's like such a silly comment. Like there's so few guys in any professional sports or ladies in any professional sports leagues that don't want to play. Like I think the reason that they've made it to that level is because they truly do love the sport. It's kind of like any job. Like the people at the top, when you see these like 70, 80-year-old billionaires that are still like heading companies and stuff like that, it's like there's a reason that they're doing it. It's not because they need the money, it's because they love doing it. And I think that's true for like 99% of professional athletes. I feel like that's the case for. And there's maybe a small sliver like the Deshaun Watsons of the world.
Sure.
Bringing it back to me a little bit, sorry.
No, as you should.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe not the Bengals are the biggest loser of the past month. Kyle, who, if you were picking someone to be the biggest loser the past month of pro football, who are you thinking?
Okay, gosh, I mean the Bengals are a good pick. I do agree with that. I guess
because they have so much potential. It's not like they're a loser outright. You know what I mean?
And there was a lot of belief.
There was like a little
3 weeks ago.
Yeah, there was a little friskiness with like when Joe Burrow came back and they beat the Ravens. It was like, oh my gosh, they could maybe get to the playoffs if something falls in line.
Yeah,
exactly. And then they didn't. And they almost beat the Bills in the snow game, and then Joe Burrow unfortunately threw some picks, and it has been a severe up, severe down for them. I think the Chiefs might be pretty. I think that's someone we can talk about as
that's
biggest
kind of my favorite loser. But what were you saying, Carl? Maybe about the Bengals.
No. I mean, the Bengals are fine. The Chiefs, I would say, probably are the biggest loser, especially just given that the fan base, I feel like, has hope every year. And it's like, I think Kansas City locals, it's like they put a lot of pride and a lot of thought into the Chiefs. And so to see them already be out of playoff contention is wild. And then also, I mean, the potential end of Patrick Mahomes' career, maybe, like who's to say how he bounces back?
No, he'll bounce back.
Who's saying that?
I'll say that. I don't know. I feel like he's one of those players that
I'll say it.
he moves around so much. He's
Starting
not
Rivers
like,
right here.
it's one thing if like Tom Brady tears his ACL at 30 years old and comes back and is fine, which speaking of, I think he did have he had some type of ligament injury earlier in his career.
No, he had the ACL. It's almost at the exact same age too as Mahomes.
Yeah. And so a guy like Tom Brady comes back from that and like he's a guy that you're confident in because he's never running. Whereas like, I don't know, probably Mahomes' best attribute is his slipperiness and the way that he like just makes plays on the run. And I don't know, I mean, we'll see. I hope, you know, from as a sports fan that he bounces back and still like retains that ability. But I mean, I don't know. I'm a little bit maybe more nervous than the rest of the sports world.
But isn't like you can fully recover from an ACL thing within a year, I think.
Yep. Yeah, that's reasonable. I think he'll be playing early on next year. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a fair point. It's not an insignificant surgery to come back from. And the Chiefs live and die by Mahomes. I mean, a lot of teams live and die by their quarterback, so that's not really breaking analysis, but the Chiefs especially. And so I think importantly, it's just like every week it felt like the narrative was the Chiefs, as long as they win this week and, you know, whatever, the teams in their division maybe lose a little bit and you know, the Colts were slipping, so maybe there's something there. The Jags, well, no, the Jags have been just winning. But anyway, maybe the Chiefs can finally make the playoffs or finally get back into the playoffs after losing at, you know, the start of the season was ugly for them. And it's like, they'll turn it around. They're the Chiefs. And this past weekend shut the door. And I don't remember. I mean, it's been a long time since the Chiefs have been eliminated from the playoffs. I mean, basically since Mahomes, more or less. I was talking to my friend who's a Chiefs fan, and I was asking him, like, this was before the Texans game, which was one of the uglier offensive performances I've ever seen. Granted, Houston's defense is really good, but I was like, "Oh, you hopeful for the game?" And he's like, "No, the Chiefs suck." So like they've broken their fans' spirits at this point.
Wow.
Yeah.
So. I agree that I feel like the narrative the whole time was like, oh, a tough start to the Chiefs season, so they're going to have to do more work to come back for it. But everybody was still assuming that was going to happen.
Yeah.
But it's been a really cool year for the NFL to see things switching around that nobody expected. I don't know if this always happens or if it's a lot more this year that teams are surprising people. It feels like more, but I don't have a
No, I mean, like the Broncos leading the AFC West is crazy. Bo Nix being as good as he is
leading the
nuts.
AFC.
I mean,
yeah,
and the AFC, true. Yeah, like I think that's been crazy. Obviously, the thing with the Patriots and Drake May, that was really unexpected. The Jaguars are good for the first time in a long time. Yeah, so I think this year feels like an outlier to me, at least at the very top. It's pretty interesting. We move on to some winners. Enough talking about these sad franchises. So I guess my first winner will be Josh Allen, who had a phenomenal comeback game. Crazy. Also found out he's having a baby. Like honestly,
God, he's on awesome a heater.
Year. He's on a heater for Josh Allen and the Bills. They might be like my early pick right now to win the Super Bowl. I think probably. I don't know what the odds are, but I bet they've been slowly inching up week by week.
Yes, I worry about the whole team because I just don't trust any of their receivers except I can't actually honestly at this point I do trust both tight ends, but I don't trust any of the wide receivers. So it's mainly just like Josh and then a little bit of James Cook, and their defense isn't even that good. Like the games that they have won have been like heroic efforts from Josh Allen where they're still letting in like 30 points. But I think the biggest thing to your point on the Josh Allen is this year in the AFC playoffs, they're not going to have Mahomes, they're not going to have Burrow, and we probably won't have Lamar, it looking like. So it's like, if Josh Allen is going to win a Super Bowl, which he's already got an MVP, might get another MVP this year, you need a ring under your belt to start like elevating your kind of career into these like all-time conversations. This is going to be the year to do it, at least in the past, 5 years. We just had a crazy and like so many talented teams in the AFC the past 5 years, and this year it's very wide open. Yeah, Perrin, do you have a Super Bowl pick, or at least coming out of the AFC? Patriots, Broncos, Jaguars.
I guess I mean I don't not as much based on logic, but or maybe it is. I feel like you're right. The Broncos are probably who I'm jumping ship towards if I had to pick one.
Sure.
Dude,
Um,
they look great.
yeah.
Perrin, did you watch the Broncos Packers game?
No, was that this past week?
Yes, it was the past one, and it was the Packers were up for a while, and I was just like, I'd
Mhm.
basically given up that for whatever reason, even though Bo Nix has made every fourth quarter comeback this entire year, I'd basically given up on them. And then, I mean, granted, Packers had the Parsons injury, and Christian Watson got landed on and broke his collarbone, so that kind of sucked for them. But
Yikes.
the Broncos did make the comeback, so that was a big one because the Packers are really good.
Wow. How much were they down in the fourth quarter?
I don't know about. I don't remember about the fourth quarter. I know in the third quarter they were down like by 10 points, which isn't
Okay.
super crazy. But the Packers are good at slowing the game down, so it can feel
Mhm.
like a big, big mountain to climb there.
Yeah.
I think Josh Allen's a good pick. Any other winners in your mind, Perrin, for the NFL past month?
I watched some of the Rams game the other day, and that was fun. They've been so consistently great, and I love
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford as a MVP contender. That just feels out of left field for the season too, but really exciting to see like a kind of a vet and just not someone who was on people's radars. Be like, oh, look who's consistently amazing. He's had a couple off weeks or whatever, but that's been a cool team to watch.
He's been sweet. Yeah, there was a period there where he had like 30 touchdowns in a row with no interceptions, which is, I mean,
so crazy.
Yeah, you can't even really understand that.
Even those, like, I feel like those stats always get interrupted by the end of game interceptions where you have to throw Hail Marys and stuff.
Sure.
But they've just been winning games, so they haven't do that.
No need. Yeah. No need for a 2-minute drill. Yeah.
Right.
Kyle, any other winner contenders other than Josh Allen?
I guess the Bears, good for them. They beat the Browns.
Yeah.
They also, I like the Bears in the NFC. Gosh. Yeah.
That was going to be my pick is honestly just Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams and the Bears running backs. It just feels like they're humming. And there's been a really interesting argument this year. The Bears have been like the number one defense in forcing turnovers, which everyone always is like, that's going to slow down. Like they're going to stop forcing turnovers. And I get that as a regression stat, like year to year, where you'll be like, oh, just because that team forced a ton of turnovers last year, this year, maybe it'd be less fluky. But I feel like within a year, like within a season, week to week, they're clearly doing something right to get all these interceptions or get all these fumbles. And I just kind of don't think the Bears are going to stop doing that on defense. So, and the offense is awesome. I mean, I've been very impressed with Caleb Williams recently. Yeah.
Gosh, one more loser. I got to talk about the Colts for a second and Phillip Rivers. It was crazy watching him play football, man. It was sad. It was honestly sad. Like the Colts had so much going for them. They looked so awesome. And then you have like this glimmer of hope where like I think they were up in like the second quarter. They were winning that game against the Seahawks, and it was like, wait a minute.
Against the Seahawks,
yeah, a good solid team. And it's like, wait a minute, maybe we've got something here. And then there was one snap, like Phillip Rivers snap, where he just like falls to the ground, like trips over his feet, falls to the ground, and it just was like, oh boy, here we go.
Funny.
Yeah. Gosh, for like Jonathan Taylor's sake, I really hope he honestly this is like his first. He didn't have a touchdown this game, which is not like him. But like for his sake, I really hope that they can pull it together and at least have like a good shot in the playoffs and have like put together a decent game. And but man, I feel for that team. Because they've had such an awesome run coming up to this point.
Yeah, get to capitalize on it.
I know he's a grandfather. They might not even make the playoffs. Colts, they have a tough next few. I think they're playing Houston, which it seems really mean to make the grandfather and also father of 10, mind you, not just a grandfather, play against the Houston Texans, who just beat you up basically. But
yeah, that's true. No, the AFC wild card is going to be really, it's going to be tough. I think they're probably on the outs right now. Yeah. Wow.
So tough. They were the number one story at the start of the season, but long season. Okay. Let's go to NBA then, which has also been really fun the past few weeks. A lot of up and down. Few kind of main stories. Pistons run a win streak. Nuggets run a win streak. Pistons are really like legit. The Pistons are. I've been super impressed with them.
Especially just compared to how much of a flip it was from last year, right?
I know.
It was last year that they were really bad.
2 years ago they were garbage. Last year they were good, and then they were fine. I mean, they showed a lot of promise. I think, Matt, like one of the first episodes we did on the NBA, it was like, based on their trajectory, they're going to win 80 games this season or something. Because
And
like you're saying, Perrin, 2 years ago they won like 12 games the whole season, and then last year I think they were somewhere in the 30s or 40s, and then this year, I mean, they're like the best team in the East. They look very clearly like the best team in the East. Maybe not after the Knicks just trounced. Not trounced, but beat the Spurs. But we can get to that.
I think there's a lot of really strong contenders for winners. Obviously, we are recording this the day after the NBA Cup win. The Knicks, I think, are probably the most obvious. Like, they just added a trophy, whatever you think that trophy means, to their trophy case. However legitimate you think the NBA Cup is. But the Knicks, I think, are a great contender.
Did you guys hear they're not putting it in the rafters? The Knicks are not putting the NBA Cup banner in the rafters, despite the Lakers and who won last year was
the Bucks.
The Bucks, yeah, that's right. The Lakers and the Bucks both put a banner in the rafters, and Knicks said no, we're not stooping to that level.
Wow, they're like that. It doesn't mean enough to us.
Yeah, I guess so. Also, great rebrand.
I mean,
I think,
it is a pretty random win, but you might as well.
Yeah, when they called it like the in-season tournament, it didn't feel like it meant as much. NBA Cup's got like a nice ring to it. I think that was smart.
Yeah,
I like it.
It sounds like a Mario level, like a Mario Kart level.
Yeah, we're running the NBA Cup.
They should make 4 courses that are different teams themed.
You might be onto something.
It wouldn't be that far off. They have the Mercedes-Benz vehicles in Mario Kart, so I mean, something, I don't know.
Yes.
I would put Jokic as my character in Mario Kart.
Whoa, like your own Bowser, just like bouncing into everyone else. Anytime he touches someone, they just immediately spin like a banana.
All right, we have some pitch emails to write up.
Wait, Wemby's Waluigi. I'll say that.
That's a good call.
Waluigi, that's a good one. Yeah,
he is. Yes. Okay.
That's a really good call. No, those are important.
Can I still have? I'm gonna still have the Spurs be one of my winners. I feel like, I mean, the Spurs,
I love it.
Getting Wemby back. I feel like, dude, there's a lot of chatter after the NBA Cup final game, and that like maybe he didn't have it, wasn't that great. I mean, first of all, he only played like 20 minutes, if that. He was like on
He's still on the restriction,
yeah, and like the previous game, he looked amazing. Like he has those like defensive plays followed up with like a fadeaway 3 where it's just like no one else is doing this.
Yeah, like that collection of skill set is absurd.
It's so awesome to see, and just seeing him move on the court and seem healthy. Like, I mean, that's such a win for the Spurs. And then, I mean, Stephon Castles looked great. Dylan Harper's looked awesome. Like, I still think the Spurs look great, and especially in the whole NBA Cup, they look great. So I think they could still be a winner. They played the Knicks, who are a really good team.
And very importantly, they beat the Thunder, and they ended what was looking. The Thunder were challenging the best record, and people were starting to talk about, are they going to do the win streak, like the longest win streak in NBA history? And the Spurs beat them, and still with one beyond a minutes restriction when they beat them. So I think
if
the Spurs
Thunder won that game, would it have crossed the record?
No, I think the Heat won, like the LeBron Heat won like 27 in a row or something like that.
Okay.
So the Thunder were on, they were on like 17 or something, but it was starting to feel like they weren't going to lose again. Like the momentum at least was building. So, I think the Spurs is a really.
It's a very safe take. Yeah, Wemby is it's so exciting to see him start to thrive. Like when was last year his first year in the league?
His second year. Yeah.
Okay. Because when he started, I feel like the conversation was like, obviously he's really tall and useful in his own defensive ways, or he can make some shots and blocks. But like the way that he's able to make plays at both ends of the court, do everything. It's the same as Jokic taking threes. I'm like, he can do that too. I'm like, I forgot,
No,
like
I think it's a good. The fact that he like got a bag and a fadeaway and everything, it's just like, this is silly.
Wild.
But even I think the Spurs are a really good pick, because even without the Wemby stuff, they have clearly figured something out, because he was injured for, I don't even know, 10 games, 12 games. And I think obviously it's never good if someone's injured, but it was good for the Spurs because they figured out really how to play without Wemby. Honestly, this is kind of similar to what I feel about the Nuggets season, which is that the really big reason I'm so excited for the Nuggets this season and why I think that they can actually like make a run at the Thunder is their bench. Their minutes without Jokic on the floor are so much more productive than they were last year. A lot of that is because of Valanciunas. But anyway, the Spurs, I think, have kind of figured out that formula a lot. It felt like similar last year, like when Wemby's not playing, it's like the Spurs like suck. There's like a bunch of guys who are talented, but they have no chemistry. And this year, they have a positive net rating when he's not on the floor, which is huge. That means like when he's leaving the floor, they're not losing buckets to the other team. So I think it's a good call. Alrighty, we'll do loser then. Perrin, any major losers? Whatever major loser. Yeah, from the past month or so of the NBA. Anyone that you're just like super disappointed with?
Not particularly. Like, I think I wish the Clippers were. I feel like you've said it, and you know that sensation of like. I feel like they have the potential. You can probably say this about any team. They have the players and the potential, and it's sort of like they took like them and the Nuggets played 7 games last year in the in their playoff games. I'm like 6-20 just doesn't really make sense as your record, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it's been sad. Kyle, what about you?
Gosh, I gotta make it about me again.
We may have lost
the Cavs have been. Oh, hang on. Are we back? Are we back?
No, you're good. We got you on Cavs.
We're pushing the limits.
We're
back. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the Cavs have been a sad story so far this season, man. It's been hard to watch. It's been just when you go into the season with so much hope. Like we had a great team last year and we're let down last year, and then to kind of feel like that same sort of thing is happening this year on a much more accelerated timeline where we are. I don't know. I mean, we've been struggling with injuries the whole season, and it just feels like that story is going to continue on forever. Remember one of the previous episodes, I was saying that it felt like it was this year or never, and you were like shocked that I felt that way. And I really do. I really do
get
think
it.
that with the way that injuries are going, and I mean, Donovan Mitchell, like he's such a workhorse, man, and the way that we've grinded him out, and like
he's playing like 40 minutes a game.
He's playing 40 minutes a game. He's our whole team. Our entire offense operates through him. It's so hard. And so I'm just nervous for like not just this season, but the future seasons. Just as like a, really, we had so much potential, and to feel like we might be, not living up to that is harsh. To not see us like make an Eastern Conference Finals or a Finals in the next couple of years is going to be hard to see. But I still have hope. But they do feel like a loser from these last few weeks, because it felt like maybe, the rubber was going to hit the road, and we'd start to put some wins together, get Jared Allen out there some more, and maybe even have, I know Max Strus is on his way back, hopefully, but like that's still a big question mark. And so, yeah, we'll see.
So what would it take for you to lose your fandom for the Cavs?
Oh man, that's honestly, Perrin, there's nothing.
Lifetime. That's a lifetime guarantee.
It is. Even like honestly, the way that like I think it's an awesome mascot from like even if I didn't live in Cleveland, this is how I feel about the Timberwolves. Matt knows that I'm a big Timberwolves fan, even though I have no relation to Minnesota. I just like the general vibe of like the fans and the everything that matters, their colors, like that stuff. Yeah, the intangibles, and I like that about Cleveland. And then when you add in the fact that like I was born and raised up here, and it's like I grew up going to the games at that same arena. Like there's something about it that's special.
Yeah,
so, yeah. I don't
know, like
man.
There's something about the Eagles fan base that I just hate.
Yeah.
And I,
I
don't think I'm alone in that, but I'm like,
no.
I don't. Yeah, if I lived in Philadelphia, I'd be like, I'll pick anyone else. Still, I don't want to be a fan of this team. But like the Bills, like as a counter, it's like similarly skilled and good. But I'm like, I just love watching Josh Allen thrive. I love watching his interviews. I love watching, I don't know,
snow games. Yeah. Bills Mafia is cool for sure.
Yeah, you don't want your team to be like in the media and you're like cringing. That's not a good place to be.
Never good.
It's like
never
Florida
good.
Man, or it's like Eagles fan did this ridiculous thing.
That's good,
man. Matt, who's your loser?
Before I get that, I've been thinking more about what you said about the injury thing, the Cavs thing, because that kind of stuck in my brain since you had said it. And I get what you're saying, because with Tatum coming back next year and Halliburton coming back next year, the East is suddenly going to get a lot more crowded. Well, it'll be crowded like it was the year before, which the Cavs were the far and away the 1 seed in the East. But I've been shocked with how not lifeless they've looked this year, but just like how they haven't had that like ruthless, cutting edge, finish the game, win the game kind of situation. So this year is obviously extremely wide open. So I have come to your side of that discussion.
I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you guys have time to watch games besides just the games of your team?
Gosh, that's a great question. That's a really, really good question.
Because I don't have, like, I'll find time to watch football games that I want to see, which involves a lot of teams, but I really only watch Nuggets basketball because I'm like, I just can't. It's too much.
I'll say I'm almost never, with basketball specifically, I'm almost never watching one game. Even if the Cavs are playing on a night, like I am swapping between 3 or 4 games all the time. And I'm getting little bites of everything. Like pretty much anytime someone gets fouled, I switch the game. Like it's habit. If I hear the whistle blow, I'm switching games. If I go to commercial, I'm switching games. And that's the nice thing about the NBA is that there's like every night there's at least 3 or 4 games going on, so you can swap in and out pretty quickly if you have League Pass or something like that. And so it saves me a lot of time. And then I know like Matt watches a lot of the highlights. Like the League Pass does like abbreviated highlights, and in there you get like a ton of the info. Like you'll hear the announcers a bit, and then obviously you get all the big plays for like the games that
this is the catch. Like NBA and NFL posting their recap videos or something else?
They do on YouTube. The NFL and NBA both post like really solid, I would say, like really solid highlights with And I think
watch those back as well.
Yeah, a lot of them are really good, really well done, and they post them within like 30 minutes of the game being over. Like they've got the editors moving while the games are going on. It's wild.
I think about how they must like. I mean, it must be like as you're going through the game, somebody's about to post it. You know what I mean? You have your 3/4 of the game done. But I think about that a lot too. I'm like, oh my God, the turnaround time on this is amazing. Like, because you have to process the video, export it, upload it, which if I'm doing something like that, it takes hours. So.
I almost wonder if they have some
they got good upload speeds.
Yeah, they must have some like backdoor streamlined to YouTube where they're uploading at crazy speeds because it is compressive.
And also if you have to edit, like if there's an error and you have to edit it, do you have to repost it, or do people have some veto power if you're the NFL or the NBA?
You can edit inside. You can edit inside the YouTube video. You can only trim, so you can't like add in a new screen or something. But if you like left a highlight go too long or something, you can just trim that down. I also do know bigger creators they do have like a extra processing server that you unlock when you get to a certain amount of subscribers. So I'm sure the NBA are taking advantage of that.
Sure.
Yeah. To answer your question, Perrin, it is a lot. I mean, your work schedule is a lot different than mine as well. I'm pretty free in the evenings, which is most of the time when the NBA is on. But also basketball is really easy to convince myself to watch just because like even the worst teams are full of extremely like unbelievable athletes. And so I can even turn on like a Pelicans game and watch someone do something cool. And so it's really easy to convince yourself
they
to
touch the ball a lot. You know, like in an NFL game, you may love, Justin Jefferson or someone who's got like phenomenal talent, but then he touches the ball 4 times a game. It's like a lot less.
And he requires a competent quarterback and also a quarterback who's not afraid to throw. Yeah. So that makes sense. Everybody's going to touch the ball.
Yeah. I'll share my loser and then we can wrap it up. My loser, I think, for the NBA, unfortunately, is the Chicago Bulls. There's always a team that comes out really hot in the NBA, like especially with basketball, people can just get really hot, and even full teams can get really hot. And the Bulls started the season, it might have even been 7-1 or 8-1, and they currently are sitting at 10-16, I think, 10-15. So they have won since their hot start. They have won 2 games and lost the rest. And that's a bummer. There's a lot of cool younger players in that Bulls team that I like rooting for, and I was excited that they were going to kind of be a force in the Eastern Conference, which, as we talked about, is like kind of wide open. And they're back. It looks like they're just kind of right in the same Chicago Bulls, maybe make the play-in, kind of mediocre season, but things could turn around. But I think they've been a big loser the past month.
Yeah, man, I'm still hopeful that Buzelis kind of like makes a jump because he seems like a player. He's just got so much talent, and he seems like he's an easy guy to like. I mean, he did the slam dunk contest, which was fun. Totally. I remember him in that last year. And he like some nights you'll watch him play, and it's like, man, this guy's got a lot of potential, but he just doesn't have like that kind of that star power that I feel like is missing. And so that's a good pick.
All right, Perrin, we'll wrap it up with this question. If you could you have one wish, genie in a bottle, for the sports season, like in 2026, at the end of 2026, what have you hoped has happened?
For something to happen, for like a team to have something.
It can be the Nuggets win. It can be Joe Burrow proposes to you. It can be, I don't know what you want it to be. You tell me.
Honestly, I realized this year that one of my life goals is to sit courtside at any basketball game, but definitely a Nuggets game. Just to be there and
I
to
love that.
like. Also, I guess since it's a dream world, I'll go ahead and put myself let me put myself under the rim so that it's like Jamal Murray, like layup, fall into my lap. I save his life.
Nice.
Whoa, you okay, Jamal? You all good? You good? And then he's like, thank you so much, man.
Yeah.
Are you okay? And then he like signs my thing, and then that whole thing. Maybe I should pick someone who's single, actually.
I feel like
Whatever.
Jamal, I don't know, loosey goosey maybe.
He could be available depending
on the night. I don't know. Maybe if it's an away game, it could be a little more.
Okay. From home if his kid's not there with him.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's maybe not exactly the answer you're looking for, but just to be there, I think.
I was
really
not.
cool.
I wasn't hoping for any specific answer, so that was perfect.
Okay.
The courtside
What about
NBA
y'all?
game is a great pick. Gosh, that's a dream of mine too. I think as far as sports go, that's like the one where I think being in the closest possible seats is the most rewarding. Like at a football game, you're still pretty far away. But I think like courtside at a basketball game, you're at the same level. Importantly,
Yeah.
So like you're actually seeing it as like they're seeing it basically. And I'm sure you guys have seen clips too of like those courtside videos where you just like see the movement and see the footwork and the speed. It's always really cool to see. So yeah, I guess if I could pick one sports thing to happen in 2026, besides me getting signed on to a team, that's number one, of course.
And which team?
I guess I'd probably have the best luck as maybe I feel like Brown's quarterback is in the running. Maybe maybe a kicker. Like I feel like those kicking tryouts, you hit 10 perfect balls from 50 yards, they'll sign you on a chance, on a whim.
And you can do that?
No, but maybe.
Okay.
You can train. It's
more than I could run a route well 10 times. I'll say
and
that.
It's safer.
Sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I feel like I could pass the eye test maybe more as a kicker than basically any other position. But I imagine just about everyone would say that too, so it doesn't help my case. All right, so I guess sports moment would be, and here's the thing, I could pick like Browns winning the Super Bowl, but I'm not going to do that. I think the realistic one that would also be the most rewarding for me would be a Guardians World Series run.
Yes,
this
sir.
Next year. Postseason baseball is so fun and so exciting and so drawn out that like you get so many awesome games, and so like your excitement, it spans over an entire month. So I think that's what I'll go with. I'll go with the Guardians putting together a World Series team.
I love that. Perrin, thanks so much for coming on. This was really fun.
Yeah. What was your dream though? Your
come on.
dream.
You can have a dream too.
I guess no, that's fair. I can have a dream.
We can dream too.
What's that one scene from Tangled where all the guys are saying they have a dream?
I have
what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I have a dream. Like da 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 da. Yes. That's all I know. That's you.
Honestly, I would like to see another Nuggets championship. Actually, no. Here's my actual answer. I would like to see Arsenal win the Premier League this year.
Wow.
They have not won in might be 2 decades at this point, and we are the leader of the table right now. And I have seen Arsenal lead the table and collapse in the second half of the year too many times, and we're about to get to the second half of the league. And if they do it again, it's gonna be really tough. But also, that is a little bit the life of a modern Arsenal fan, so I'm like used to it. But Arsenal winning the Premier League, even more than the Champions League, I would want. So that's my pick. I would. When Arsenal beat Real Madrid in the Champions League during the workday because it's European time, I was crying during a work call. I had to turn off my camera. So
that's crazy, Matt. That's
crazy. I love that story.
Yeah.
Is everything okay?
I think it was like I was just listening in. Yeah, it wasn't an important work call. Like I was not.
Yeah.
Part of it. But yeah, that was so. If that'll give you an insight into what the Premier League would mean.
Wow.
No, it's like we got some diversity in our
yours
picks.
might be the most realistic.
You haven't been an Arsenal fan. Mine, it still feels. It's
Perrin,
still
like getting courtside tickets is very feasible.
Well, you're right. I just have to go buy it. That's actually the most achievable. For sure.
Yes. You are in total control of that one occurring. You can go sign.
You're
You can go
right.
get a credit card so fast.
Right?
Yes. You could, Perrin, you could hit a parlay. We know you love them.
You're right. I did.
all
I
you need.
correctly guessed a few years ago, before I cared about football at all, the Super Bowl, the Chiefs Super Bowl final score of like 35 or whatever it was, and I turned $5 into 200, and that felt.
Come on.
Oh wow, you picked
Yeah.
the score.
I picked final score 35 for the Chiefs.
That's awesome.
And that was
that
that.
is an insane bet. Oh my gosh.
I know.
Good for you. She had a feeling. She knew. Yeah.
I did. I was smelting it, you know.
Kyle, next time you have a good feeling about the Browns winning a game, can you text us and we can both bet the other team?
The opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I
That'd be
will say it's very rare and far between. I did have the same feeling about the Packers this year, and we beat the Packers. Sometimes it feels that way. I
True,
will say
you
I
did.
thought this
Sometimes
game.
happens.
I thought this game was a home game when I said that. It was on Friday. I was talking to my buddy at work, and I
Okay.
thought they were playing in Cleveland. Playing in Chicago, way different story. So I'll give myself a little bit of grace.
Perrin, thank you for the great conversation. I know we kept you a long time. This was really fun.
No worries. Thanks for having me. And just, chatting about sports. Why not?
It was the best. It was the best. All right. I'll see you guys.